Hey everybody, this is 6 a.m. Comics, or Mark. I answer to both, it's fine. A lot's gone down the last couple days. Look, it's not my aim to be political. I think the lines are very clearly defined on this topic, and I highly doubt anything I say is going to change anybody's mind on the matter. And likewise, I'm not changing my opinion on the matter either. As we all know, Roe v. Wade was overturned this past Friday. Abortion laws will now go into the states. And if you're a conservative, God-fearing Christian such as myself, you're feeling pretty good right now. But my focus in this moment is specifically toward the church and the almost deafening silence that echoed across my social media this weekend. And look, I get it. A lot of people don't want to say anything because they're afraid of the just onslaught from foaming at the mouth leftists that they'd have to endure. And believe me, I understand. No one wants to deal with it. But I'll tell you who really doesn't want to deal with it. Spineless church leaders, apparently. My brothers and sisters, we shouldn't gloat. Seems to be the trending topic I see amongst various church leaders this weekend. Look, I get it. You don't want to be a sore winner. But I think we need to be reminded that there is a difference between gloating and celebrating. When a team wins a game, they smile, they cheer, their fans cheer, they dump a jug of Gatorade on their coach. That isn't gloating. That's victory. That's joy. It's celebration. For those of us who view every fetus, embryo, every quote unquote clump of cells as a life, we just had a victory. And that was something I didn't think I'd ever see in my lifetime. Like it's big. And to see church leaders right now, who for the last 2 years have been throwing up Ukraine flags on their Twitter handles and blacking out the profile pics, be so eerily silent about this, it makes me more speechless than they are right now. And I suspect there's a lot of reasons behind it. One is this mindset that we shouldn't offend, that we should be neutral, we should call out all sides when they're wrong, be a moral compass. Maybe someday we can win some people to our side if we show how reasonable and compromising we are. And really, how's that been working out for you? Because I'll tell you right now, the only thing I've seen from the left has been just a seething hatred for not one specific church or denomination, but for Christianity as a whole. They want our rights stripped and our families taken from us. They hate us. And you shouldn't be surprised. The Bible is pretty clear on the fact that we will be hated for what we believe. Another reason is our precious tax exemption status. We're told to behave on the pulpit or suffer the wrath of the IRS. You know, I've heard pastors I respect just blatantly avoid any hint of political discussion for fear of retaliation from the government. And this seems to be a huge issue, specifically with mega churches, which have become very cozy with their $1 million industries, which, while they preach third grade level Christianity from the pulpit and avoid the more controversial topics in Scripture. If you believe God provides, then taxes should be the very last thing on your mind. Let them tax you. Let them force you out of your giant megastructures. Let some rich bishop buy them all and he can live out his days fat and happy in a mega complex while the rest of us commune with God in our homes. I'd like to think we're bigger than this. But the last reason I think the church won't celebrate is because they'd be quietly admitting Trump might have done something right. Look, nobody can take your precious Trump derangement syndrome away from you. And you know what? It's okay to hate him. And it's also okay to accept that his appointment of 3 conservative judges to the Supreme Court led to this moment. The last 6 years, they've really exposed this ugly side to the church. Men of faith who lazily preached about love thy neighbor from the pulpit for years and pretended to have great wisdom because they learned the original Hebrew of a few passages during their 4 years in seminary, suddenly declared themselves anti-Trumpers and spewed nothing but hate against the man from their God-given platforms, only to turn around when Biden was elected and say things like, we need to pray for our leaders, even if they're on the opposing political side of the aisle. Trust me, they said nothing like that when Trump was elected. They would have preferred a woman who pushed late-term abortion and progressive rhetoric than an undeniably flawed man who at least fought for conservative ideals. Ideals that the church has claimed to be in agreement on for years, i.e. being pro-life. Those same people who actually said things like, yeah, sure, Trump is pro-life, but it's not like they're ever going to overturn Roe v. Wade, so it doesn't really matter. Deafening silence. And yes, this is a thing that I heard church leaders say, and it's ridiculous. Apparently, we don't believe in miracles anymore. We just accept doom and gloom all the time. So, I don't know. So many church leaders tried so hard to separate themselves from Trump that they neutered their own God-ordained positions to cater to a group of people who have spent the last 3 days wishing for their demise. Spineless cowards. And no, we don't need to gloat. But if you're a believer, you believe every clump of cells in the womb is a life, created by God and given a name before the mother even knew it was there. We reject abortion not because we loathe women or don't respect their bodies, but because we love children and we also respect their bodies. For a believer, this isn't a political issue. It shouldn't even be up for debate. Thou shalt not murder. If you believe those clump of cells aren't a life, then you have to believe that Mary had every right to abort Jesus. Not quite the sacrifice he was supposed to make. The overturning of Roe v. Wade isn't the end of abortion. We didn't win the war, but it was a battle that will potentially save the lives of millions of unborn babies. And we have every single right to celebrate that. We have every single right to be vocal. By expressing your joy in Friday's decision, you're not telling the left to go screw themselves. You're not taking a steaming hot dump on women's rights. You're simply joining in celebration with your fellow believers because I truly believe God was celebrating too. This was a victory. You can be joyful and still show empathy. Yes, we need to understand that not every pro-choicer is a vile baby-killing demon. I mean, no normal human being actually believes that. And if you're a believer, you understand that we're all sinners saved by grace. So don't run out there teabagging every leftist you see on the internet. But as a believer, and specifically as a church leader, take some pride in the miracle God just did in our country. Quit being a wuss.